My name is S-ankh Rasa. I've always been connected to Africa, obviously. And so I've been to Africa, and I go to Africa to study traditional African music. I play traditional instruments. So when they told me about it, they said, well, we'll send you the book, and that's what typically happens. They send you the book, they send you a script, they send it to you. I said, you don't have to send me the book. I've been reading this book for my kids for years. It's right there. So I would love to write music for this. I know it. I can't tell you how many times I've read it. There were obvious places where you could find places to add to the story with song, and it was a chance for me to do that, knowing that it's a chance to introduce African instruments, because this means I get to go into the studio and play it all myself. That way I know it's going to be, we use the instruments like the kora, we use the djembe, we use dundun drums, we use the instruments that are from that culture. I think that the most important character is not really Nyasha. I think that MUFARO'S love for his daughters is what it's about. That's really what it's about. And how, as you watch the play, you may think like maybe he's blind. He's not. He's not. I'm a father. And I got daughters. You're not blind. You know how your children are, but you love them. You love them either way, and you do your best to guide them. And sometimes it's not just don't be this, it is be this. I think he's that kind of dad, and I think that's beautiful. Well, first off, there in the play, in being a play about it, there is the storyteller, central character, okay? And so that character, okay, is so weaves it together, is kind of narrator, is storyteller. Now in the African tradition, of course we have storytellers. That's important. So when we started working on this, we had Rick, who was the storyteller. Well, I had this bright idea to add into that there is an instrument in West Africa that talks. It is the tama, the talking drum. So here we have an actor who is not a musician that is faced with the task of having to learn to play this instrument, just because it would really add this other touch of authenticity and reality and cultural accuracy to the whole thing. Now, it was like, okay, Rick, you're gonna have to live, walk, talk, sleep, and eat with this thing in order to just get used to what it feels like to play this. But it will add so much rather than you just standing there and delivering lines, okay? And that's exactly what it did. Then from there, we had the two villagers. The two villagers also play, okay? So while they're accompanying him, they have to sing, Bambale, 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 oh Bambale. This is its own study, but that's what you see in the opening. And I love that part of it because it establishes place, time, culture, context to the story you're about to hear. I think more than anything, and in this play, more than anything, it's about capturing and being the embodiment of magic. There is magic in this play. There is magic in Africa, in African culture. There is a magic that has to come through. And when that magic comes through, it doesn't matter who's watching it, it doesn't matter who you are. That magic will touch you, and you will know that, wow, you're gonna have butterflies. You're just gonna have this tingly little feeling inside because you touched something real, something African. And if the cast captures that, it's a small, it's in a lot of ways, it's a very ensemble-ish kind of piece. And you really have to be, in tune with being the embodiment of these various aspects of African culture, but it's magic.